So if you read problem number 27, it states 2 men and 5 women can do a piece of work in 4 days. So it's somewhat like your time and work problem. While 1 man and 1 woman can finish it in 12 days. How long would it take for 1 man to do the work? Okay. Now, when we are talking about time and work, you always calculate the work done. Okay. Work done. And what is the definition of work done? It is the fraction of work that is completed in 1 day. Okay. So here, first condition given here is this. That is 2 men and 5 women can do the work in 4 days. This will give you one equation. The second one is 1 man and 1 woman can finish it in 12 days. This will give our second equation. But to start with, we'll say let 1 man finish the work alone in X days, and 1 woman finish the work in Y days. Right? So 1 man finishes the work alone in X days. 1 woman finishes the work alone in Y days. Therefore, what is the work done? What is the work done by the man? If he finishes the work in X days, that means he does this much fraction of the work, 1 by X. Okay. What is the work done? As I told you, work done is the fraction of the work finished in 1 day. So he finishes, if he can finish the work in X days, he finishes 1 by X part of the work. That means the work done by him is 1 by X. Similarly, work done by the woman is 1 by Y. Okay. Now, if 1 man is finishing 1 by X part of the work, that means what? How much fraction of the work will 2 men finish? What is the work done by 2 men? Work done by 2 men. It is 2 into 1 by X, which is 2 by X. Work done by 5 women. It is 5 into 1 by Y, which is equal to 5 by Y. Okay, so this much is work done by 2 men and 5 women. So what is the total work done by 2 men and 5 women? By 2 men and 5 women, it must be equal to 2 by X plus 5 by Y. Right? So according to the problem, if we read the first sentence, 2 men and 5 women can do a piece of work in 4 days. So both of them can finish a work in 4 days. So what is the work done by 2 men and 4 women given? Also, they are finishing the work in 4 days. So work done by 2 men and 5 women. Since they are finishing in 4 days, it must be equal to 1 by 4. So therefore, according to the problem, 2 by X plus 5 by Y must be equal to 1 by 4. So this is our first equation. Let us call it number 1. Second sentence, 1 man and 1 woman can finish it in 12 days. Now, what is the work done by 1 man and 1 woman? See, 1 man does 1 by X part of the work. 1 woman does 1 by Y part of the work. Therefore, what is the work done by 1 man and 1 woman? It is 1 by X plus 1 by Y. So work done by 1 man and 1 woman is equal to 1 by X plus 1 by Y. Also, work done by one man and one woman is given to be how much? They can finish it in 12 days. So therefore, if both can finish in 12 days, that means work done by both of them is by one man and one woman is 1 by 12. So according to a problem again here, 1 by x plus 1 by y is equal to 1 by 12. This is our second equation. So we shall proceed to solve these two equations simultaneously. Okay, so what you do is you first write one equation on top of the other. So we have 2 by x plus 5 by y is equal to 1 by 4, our first equation, and 1 by x plus 1 by y is equal to 1 by 12. This is our second equation. Okay, in order to solve these two equations, let us say I take a as 1 by x and I take b as 1 by y. Therefore, from 1, what are you getting? From 1, you get 2 into 1 by x plus 5 into 1 by y must be equal to 1 by 4. 1 by x is a and 1 by y is b, equal to 1 by 4. Okay. Similarly, from 2, you have 1 by x we have taken as a and 1 by y we have taken as b is equal to 1 by 12. You're getting again two equations in a and b. Let's call this equation number 3. Let's call this equation number 4. Now we shall proceed to solve these two equations. Okay. So let us use elimination method to solve. You see that the coefficient of a here is 2 and the coefficient of a here is 1. So you multiply this equation by 2. Right, and you multiply this equation by 1. So you get 2a plus 5b is equal to 1 by 4, and you have 2a plus 2b is equal to 2 into 1 by 12 is 1 by 6. Let us write it directly. 1 by 6. 2 into 1 by 12 is 1 by 6. Now you subtract. Cancel up. Take it 5a minus 2b 3b 1/4 minus 1 by 6. That means 3b is equal to, take the LCM, 12 is the LCM, 3 minus 2 means you get 3b is equal to 1 by 12. That means you get b is equal to 1 by 12 by 3, which is 1 by 12 into 3, which is 1 by 36. But what is b? What is b we had taken? We had taken b is equal to 1 by y. So we put it back. That means 1 by y is equal to 1 by 36. That means now you cross multiply, you get y is equal to 36 days. Okay, so one woman will complete the work in 36 days. Now once we get the value of y, you can put it in equation number 2, okay, to get the value of x. So from 2, 1 by x plus 1 by 36 is equal to 1 by 12. Okay, so you take 1 by 36 on the other side, and now you take the LCM. 3 minus 1, which is 2 by 36. Again cancels. You get 1 by 18. So that means you're getting 1 by x is equal to 1 by 18. Again cross multiply, you get x is equal to 18. So answer is x is equal to 18 days. So X is equal to 18 days. One man finishes the work in 18 days. One woman finishes the work in 36 days. That is what your question was. Oh, yeah, they said only one man. So you just needed this, the value of X. So this is your answer. Okay. So one man finishes the work in 18 days. Let us do the next problem, number 29. Now 29, the problem is a little different from the problems that we have done. I think last year I had mentioned this problem to you. This is a problem of upstream and downstream, if you remember. What is upstream? Upstream is you have a speed of the water, flowing water, right? And when a ship is sailing through this water, when you are going against the speed of the stream, it is called upstream. That means there is a certain resistance. Okay, the stream gives you a certain resistance when you are going upstream. When you're going against the tide, when you're going against the flow. And downstream is when your boat is or when you're swimming with the flow of the water. That you're swimming with the tide. So what happens? The tide helps you in flowing through. Okay, that is called downstream. So 29, if you read the problem here, it says a boat takes 2 hours to go 40-kilometer downstream. Downstream means with the flow, and it returns in 4 hours. That means upstream it is coming in 4 hours. Against the tide or against the flow, it is taking more time, 4 hours. So downstream it is taking 2 hours, upstream it is taking 4 hours to cover the same distance. Find the speed of the boat in still water and the speed of the stream. Now, the question here is hypothetical. That is, what if the stream was not flowing? What if the stream uh, was still? It was not flowing. What would have been the speed of the boat? Okay, and also if you need to find out the speed of the stream. That is, if the stream is flowing, then what would be its speed? Okay, so I say let the speed of the boat let the speed of the boat in still water be x, and the speed of the stream be y. Let the speed of the boat in still water be x and the speed of the stream be y. That means if if the if the stream was not flowing, then let's say that the uh, speed of the boat was x, and if the stream was flowing, let the speed of the stream be y. Okay, both different kind of situations. Now the boat takes 40. Therefore, what should be the speed of when the boat is flowing downstream? What is the speed of the boat downstream? Speed of the boat downstream. Downstream means it is flowing with the boat is going with the flow of the stream. That means the speed of the stream is helping the boat. That means should be speed of the boat in still water plus the speed of the stream, x plus y. What should be the speed of the boat upstream? Now see, when the boat is moving forward, that means obviously uh, the speed of the boat has to be greater than the speed of the stream. Only then it can move forward against the water. So that means you have to take the speed of the boat to be greater. That means if x is greater than y, that means it must be x minus y. If the boat has to move forward, then the speed of the boat in still water has to be greater than the speed of the stream, right? If the boat is to move forward, otherwise what will happen? They will nullify each other, and then the boat will be in the same position, right? It will not move. Even though the motors are rotating, it will not move. Or the if the speed of the boat is lesser than the speed of the stream, it will not flow. In fact, what will happen is it will start flowing with the flow of the stream. So the boat of the speed of the boat in still water has to be greater than the speed of the stream. Okay, so that means now if it has to move forward, then it has to move at a speed of x minus y. That is speed of the boat minus the speed of the stream. Okay, this I don't know whether you have done relative speed. Have you done relative speed in class 5, 6, 7, anywhere? Two trains moving in the same direction, two trains moving in the opposite direction. Have you done? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is relative speed actually, something called as relative speed. So if the boat has to move forward, the speed of the boat in still water has to be greater than the speed of the stream. That is by x minus y and not y minus x. But what do you see here? If you read the first part of the sentence, it says the boat takes 2 hours to go 40 kilometer downstream, but it takes 2 hours to go. Let us say these are in kilometer per hour, x kilometer per hour and y kilometer per hour. So x plus y kilometer per hour, and this is also x plus x minus y kilometer per hour. But it takes 2 hours to go downstream. Therefore, what is the speed downstream? Distance by time. Distance is 40, time is 2. So it is 20 kilometer per hour. But what was the speed downstream? X plus y. So therefore, according to a problem, x plus y must be equal to 20. So this is our first equation. Also, it takes, for upstream, it is taking 4 hours to cover the same distance. So also it takes 4 hours to go upstream. That means it is covering 40 kilometers in 4 hours. Therefore, what is the speed upstream? It is again distance by time. Distance is 40, remains the same. Whether upstream or downstream you're traveling, distance remains the same. Only the time changes to 4 hours. So this time, the speed is 10 kilometers per hour. So according to a problem, this speed of the boat upstream was x minus y. So x minus y must be equal to 10. This is our second equation. Now we shall solve these two equations to get the values of x and y. Now the best way to solve is elimination method. First add, then subtract. So we have x plus y is equal to 20. X minus y is equal to 10. First, second, adding. This cancels, you get 2x is equal to 30. That means you get x is equal to 30 by 2, which is 15 kilometers per hour. Also, x plus y is equal to 20, x minus y is equal to 10. Subtracting. Change the signs. This time x cancels. 2y is equal to 20 minus 10, 10. That means y is equal to 10 by 2, which is 5 kilometers per hour. So what was x? We had taken x was speed of the stream in still water. What is the speed of the stream in still water? 15 kilometers per hour. Hence, speed of the stream in still water x is equal to 15 kilometer per hour. And what is the speed of the stream? Y kilometers per hour. Speed of the stream y is equal to 5 kilometer per hour. That's it. So if you see speed of the stream in still water, the speed of the boat, uh, speed of the boat, not the stream, speed of the boat in still water. If you see that the speed of the boat in still water is 15, which is greater than 5, so definitely the boat will move ahead. Okay. Any questions on this problem? Any step? If not, then we'll move on to the next problem, which is 31. 31. If you read the problem, it states that an aeroplane, let's see if I can do at the bottom. No, only 31 here, it's okay. 31. An aeroplane flies 1680 kilometer with a headwind in 3.5 hours. On the return trip, with the same wind blowing, the plane takes 3 hours. Find the plane's airspeed and the speed of the wind and wind speed. Okay. Now, see, this question states that the aeroplane is covering a distance of 1680. You have to compare this problem with the last problem. Except that here, in the last problem, the water was giving the resistance. The water was obstructing the sailing of the boat. But here, the water is not obstructing in the aeroplane. In the case of aeroplane, this is the wind that is obstructing the forward movement of the aeroplane. Okay, so the concept remains the same, downstream and upstream, except that here you have the wind. Okay, and the distance is given to you, and the first sentence states that the aeroplane. Yes. Any question? An aeroplane flies 1680 kilometer with headwind. Headwind means against the wind. Even if you don't understand the meaning of headwind, if you look at the time, 3.5 hours, and here the time is given to be 3 hours, still you can understand that it should take longer time to go against the wind, right? Because wind is obstructing. So that means headwind means here against the wind, against the flow of the wind. Okay, even if you don't know the meaning of headwind, these numbers will tell you that 3.5 hours means you are against the wind. The airplane is against the wind. And 3 hours means you are with the wind. It is taking lesser time. Wind is helping in the forward movement of the aeroplane. Okay. So with this idea, we shall start. You need to see the question first. Find the plane's airspeed, that is speed of the plane if wind wasn't obstructing. Okay, that is what is meant by airspeed. If wind was not there, then what should have been the speed of the plane? And the wind speed, that is what speed is the wind blowing. If you compare it with the problem on streams, flowing stream, you will see that plane's airspeed means speed of the boat in still water. Okay, and wind speed means speed of the stream. Okay, so these two are the same. So I start by saying, let the plane's airspeed be the x kilometer per hour. Since the units is given kilometer, let us take it kilometer. And plane speed is also very high, so you normally don't express it in meter per second. Let the plane's airspeed be x kilometer per hour and wind speed be y kilometer per hour. Okay, so therefore, what should be the speed of the plane? Speed of the plane headwind. Headwind means against the wind. Obviously, for the plane to move forward, the speed of the plane x, if wind is not there, must be greater than the speed of the wind. Only then it can move forward. So therefore, this must be x minus y kilometer per hour. Okay, speed of the plane with the wind. This time it is flowing with the wind. That means it must be the wind, the speed of the wind is helping it. So if the speed of the plane in without the wind is x, if you add the speed of the wind, this is the speed with which the plane is moving, x plus y kilometer per hour. Okay. Now what you must see here is that the plane covers 1680 kilometer in 3.5 hours. Therefore, what is the time taken? What is the speed of the what is the speed headwind? Plane covers 1680 kilometer in 3.5 hours, flying headwind. Speed is equal to distance by time. Which is equal to 1680 divided by 3.5. You convert this fraction, should cancel with 7. And then again it will cancel with 5. 480. So this is 480 kilometer per hour. But what is the speed headwind here? X minus y. So x minus y must be equal to 480. Okay. Again, the aeroplane covers 1680 kilometers in 3 hours with the wind. Therefore, what is the speed here? Let's say here speed headwind. Okay. And speed with the wind is equal to distance by time. Is equal to, distance here is 1680 divided by 3, which is, you can cancel with 3, 3560. So this is 560 kilometer per hour. So according to the law,
No.
x minus y, x plus y in fact, is 560, and this will give you a second equation. Okay, and therefore we solve equation number 1 here and equation number 2 to get our values. We have just the way we solved last time. X plus y is 560 and x minus y is 480. Add first, cancel, you get 2x is equal to 1040. That means x must be 1040 divided by 2, which is 520 kilometer per hour. Again, x plus y is equal to 560, x minus y is equal to 480. Now you subtract. Sorry, the y does not cancel, x cancels this time. X cancels, you get 2y is equal to, I think this should be 80. 560 minus 480. Y is 80 by 2, which is 40 kilometer per hour. So what is the speed of the plane headwind? X is equal to 520 kilometer per hour. And what is the speed of the wind? It is 40 kilometer per hour. That's it. Okay, I stop here for today.